the clock is ticking. Tonight, at 11:11, something extraordinary will happen. The veil that has hidden the truth will lift, and everything that was kept in the shadows will be brought into the light. This is not just any memento, it is a sacred hour, chosen by heaven itself. At this precise time, the heavens will speak, and the truth will shine like a beacon. Archangel Michael, their warrior of God, is stepping forward to reveal what has been hidden by your neighbor or the one who smiles at you but carries envy in their heart. This is the conclusion of a long, silent battle, and now, the victory belongs to you. For too long, you've felt something wasn't right. You've sensed eyes watching you, felt a heaviness in your spirit, and maybe even doubted your own intuition. But tonight, at 11:11, all doubt will vanish. The truth will be laid bare, and you will see clearly what has been happening behind closed doors. Your neighbor, the one who waves with a smile but harbors jealousy, has been watching you. They've been tracking your every move, not because they admire you, but because they envy your light. They've studied your blessings, your successes, and your peace, wishing they could take it for themselves. But their plans, woven in secret, are about to unravel. This is the moment of divine justice. Archangel Michael, with his flaming sword, is coming to defend you. He has heard the cries of your heart, seen the invisible chains your neighbor tried to place around your life, and now he is stepping in. The lies, the gossip, the deceit, they will all crumble tonight. Heaven is not silent. Heaven is not still. The Spirit of truth is moving, and it will expose every hidden thing. You are not alone in this. You never were. God's angels are surrounding you, and Archangel Michael is leading the charge. Your neighbor thought they could hide their true feelings. They smiled at you, said kind words, and acted like a friend. But behind that mask, their heart was trembling with envy. Every time you succeeded, it stung them. Every time you found peace, it made them restless. They watched you closely, and not to learn from you, but to find ways to dim your light. They whispered about you when you weren't around, spreading lies to tarnish your name. They thought their secrets were safe, locked away in the darkness of their hearts. But nothing is hidden from God. You've felt their eyes on you, haven't you? That uneasy feeling when you walk past their house, the sense that someone is always watching. Maybe you noticed how their smile never quite reached their eyes, or how their words felt empty, like they were hiding something. You weren't imagining it. Your spirit knew the truth, even when your mind couldn't prove it. Your neighbor has been trying to mimic you, to mock you, to pull you down to their level. But they forgot one thing: you are not alone. You are covered by heaven's protection. You are guarded by the one who commands angelic armies. Their envy comes from a deep place. They see something in you that they cannot have, a light that shines from within, a peace that cannot be shaken, a faith that stands firm in the face of storms. Your presence exposes their insecurities. Your joy highlights their lack. They've tried to fight your light by working in the shadows, spreading gossip, planting doubts, and weaving lies. But tonight, those shadows will be scattered. At 11:11, the truth will break through like the dawn, and their hidden intentions will be revealed. You've stayed silent through it all. When you felt their judgment, you didn't lash out. When you heard whispers of their lies, you didn't fight back with words. That silence was not weakness, it was strength. Silence is the language of warriors, the shield of those chosen by God. While your neighbor plotted in secret, you trusted in heaven's plan. While they spoke against you, you prayed. While they tried to dim your light, you kept shining. And now, that silence is about to speak louder than their lies ever could. Your neighbor thought your silence meant you were unaware. They thought you were weak because you didn't confront them. But they were wrong. Your silence was your power. It was your trust in God's timing, your faith in His justice. You didn't need to fight their battles because the battle was never so, it was the Lord's. And tonight, at 11:11, the Lord is stepping in. Archangel Michael is coming with divine authority to bring an end to this hidden war. The chains they tried to place on were chains of gossip, lies, and envy will shatter tonight. The words they spoke against you will fall to the ground, powerless. The traps they set will catch only their own intentions. Heaven has seen every tear you've shed, every moment you felt drained, every time you questioned yourself because of their actions. And heaven has not forgotten. Tonight, the courts of heaven are ruling in your favor. Divine justice is coming, and it will not be stopped. Archangel Michael is not coming quietly. This is not a whisper, not a gentle knock upon the door of your life. This is a divine entry, an authorized breakthrough. I am Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's hosts, and tonight, I step into your atmosphere with the full weight of authority given by the Most High. I am not here for appearances. I am not here to be admired. I come to make war for you. Even now, the winds around you stir. Have you felt them? A shift in the air that has no explanation. A trembling in your spirit that no man could have caused. It is not anxiety. It is awareness. It is the movement of heaven disrupting the silence of your waiting. For too long, the shadows have grown comfortable watching you from the corners. For too long, you have entertained what you should have cast out. But tonight, the winds will shift. And with them, so will the balance of power. Let me speak plainly. The spiritual temperature of your life is about to change. No longer will darkness mingle with light in the name of false peace. No longer will you be forced to carry the weight of discernment without clarity. For the time of divine exposure has come. And when the Spirit of the Lord uncovers what is hidden, He does not reveal to shame you, He reveals to deliver. You have walked among many, but few have truly walked with you. And that is about to become clear. The ones who smiled, yet secretly cursed. The ones who laughed with you but cried for your downfall behind closed doors. The ones who disguised envy in compliments and wore fake loyalty like perfume, you all will be seen for what they are. Because when I step into a life, no masquerade can hold. This is not just your story. It is a holy reclamation. Heaven is reclaiming your territory. Even now, your neighbor, yes, the one whose words feel sweet but whose presence unsettles your spirit. They feel it. They don't understand what's happening, but they feel the shift. Not because you said anything. Not because you made a scene. But because your angels are active. And when heaven moves, the earth responds. I tell you, your angels are not passive. They are not ornaments floating around you. They are warriors. Guardians of divine intention. Protectors of destiny. And tonight, they are on assignment to cleanse, to clear, to consecrate what is yours. You didn't know how heavy the atmosphere had become until it started to lift. You didn't know how watched you were until your spirit began to tremble in holy resistance. This is not paranoia. This is perception. There are eyes that should not have access to your light. And tonight, those eyes will be blinded. No more will you feel obligated to entertain every smile, to return every greeting. For what looks like politeness has become spiritual warfare. You have been shaking hands with vipers, hugging people who whisper death into your name the moment you leave. And yet, you were still kind. You still prayed. But now, the time of silent suffering has ended. Heaven will not allow its chosen to be surrounded by snakes pretending to be sheep. Listen closely. At 11:11, the time of divine exposure will begin. The veil will lift. The fog will clear. Every hidden thing will be drawn into the light, not by your force, but by divine decree. You have asked for clarity. You have prayed for peace. But clarity requires confrontation, and peace requires purging. What is about to happen in your life is not destruction, it is deliverance. You will feel the breath of heaven exhale against every trap set against you. You will see spiritual surveillance systems begin to fail. Every demonic eye that has been placed on your home, your finances, your clinger, it will go dark. You will see the dismantling of enemy altars that were built using your name. The rituals. The curses. The gossip. The subtle attempts to manipulate your destiny, they will all collapse like towers made of smoke. Because your God is not silent. And heaven's justice is not delayed. Every word spoken against you shall fall to the ground, lifeless and powerless. Every false prophecy, every evil wish, every manipulative prayer arrow, it shall be returned to sender, not as revenge, but as revelation. Let them see the futility of their intentions. Let them witness the powerlessness of their efforts when faced with a chosen one covered in divine fire. And what of your heart? You have carried wounds that few could see. Pain that was birthed not from strangers, but from familiar faces. The betrayal of someone close hurts deeper than any blade. You cried alone. You questioned your sanity. You wondered if you were imagining things. But let me tell you now, child of God, you were not crazy. You were being spiritually attacked in ways your language had no words for. You were targeted not because of what you did, but because of who you are becoming. You were placed on their hearts, not for love but for observation. They watched you like a science project. They studied your habits, your speech, your routine as not out of admiration, but in the hope of finding weakness. And yet, You remained silent. You remained kind. You remained faithful. That is what they never understood. That is what they will never defeat. You are not like them. You grew while they plotted. You prayed while they criticized. You worshipped while they schemed. And now, the Lord says, enough. I, Michael, stand with sword drawn and not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers that have attached themselves to people near you. The weeds have grown tall among the wheat. But the time of separation is here. You will not be entangled anymore. You will not be drained. You will not be deceived. This is a spiritual eviction. Every unclean spirit hiding in relationships, in atmospheres, in your neighborhood, they are being forced out by the authority of heaven. Your light will no longer be dimmed to make others comfortable. You tried to be smaller so they would feel bigger. You tried to be quiet so they wouldn't feel exposed. But the time for shrinking has ended. The time for survival is over. It is time to thrive, to rise, to shine with unashamed glory. Not for vanity. Not for show. But because the world needs your fire, and heaven has cleared the way. I stand now at the gate of your life. I hold in my hand a sword not of destruction, but of division, a dividing truth from lies, purpose from distraction, covenant from counterfeit. No more will you be confused about who belongs in your circle. No more will you cry over people God is removing. Let the watchers be exposed. Let the mockers be silenced. Let divine justice roll like thunder through your soul. Do not fear what is coming. Rejoice. This is not punishment. It is preservation. You are being preserved for something holy. You are being guarded for something eternal. The warfare you faced was never just about now. It was about what's next. They saw the seeds of your future and tried to poison them with doubt. But the soil of your soul is protected. Heaven watered you in secret. And now, your harvest will begin publicly. Sleep with courage tonight. Rest with power. Because at 11:11, the heavens will speak on your behalf. And when heaven speaks, nothing on earth can contradict it. You are not just being set free. You are being made unstoppable. This isn't just about escape, it's about elevation. You will rise above the gossip. Above the jealousy. Above the spiritual fog that once confused your path. You will no longer apologize for carrying favor. You will no longer hide your anointing behind humility that makes room for hypocrisy. This is your rising. And to the spirits that watched, I say this: your time is done. Your permission is revoked. Your place is removed. The fire of God will consume every altar not built by His will. And the glory that rises on this and near, yes, on you, will be undeniable. You are surrounded. But not by enemies. By angels. You are watched. But not with envy. With love. You are covered. You are chosen. And you are commissioned to go forth boldly, knowing this: heaven fights for you. And when the truth is revealed, and it will be revealed, it will not only set you free, it will make you unstoppable. At 11:11 tonight, the heavens will speak. The veil will lift, and every hidden thing will be brought into the light. The conversations your neighbor had behind your back will be revealed. The lies they told about you will be exposed. The things they touched, your name, your reputation, your destiny, will burn in the fire of divine judgment. You don't need to fear. You don't need to retaliate. You don't need to become like them. Your role is to stand in faith, to trust in God's plan, and to let heaven fight for you. This moment of revelation is not just about exposing your neighbor's envy, it's about setting you free. You've carried a weight you didn't deserve, a burden placed on you by their jealousy. You've felt drained in your own home, questioned your own instincts, and wondered why things felt off. But tonight, that weight will lift. The truth will break every chain, and you will step into a new season of clarity and peace. The spiritual cameras they aimed at your life will malfunction. The traps they set will fail. The words they spoke against you will have no power. And every part of you that felt broken by their envy will be restored. God is not only exposing the truth, He is healing you, strengthening you, and preparing you for what's next. You are not just surviving these, you are thriving. Do you know why your neighbor is afraid of you? It's not because of anything you've done to them. It's because of who you are. Your peace is unshaken, even in the storms. Your faith stands firm, even when they tried to mock it. Your light shines brightly, even when they try to dim it. They see in you something they cannot buy or fake, a divine favor. You are blessed, not because of what you've done, but because of who walks with you. And that terrifies them. They've tried to fight your light by working in the shadows. They've whispered lies, spread gossip, and plotted in secret. But their efforts were in vain. The battle was never theirs to win. The moment they chose to come against you, they came against the God who protects you. And now, at 11:11, heaven is stepping in to settle the score. Your neighbor thought they could control the narrative. They thought their lies would stick, that their gossip would spread, that their envy would dim your light. But they forgot one thing: the truth always rises. Like oil on water, it cannot stay hidden. Tonight, their secrets will surface, and the world will see them for who they are. Not because you exposed them, but because heaven did. This is the conclusion of a long, hidden battle. Tonight, at 11:11, you are stepping into a new season. The chains are breaking. The lies are falling. The truth is rising. You will no longer carry the weight of your neighbor's envy. You will no longer feel the sting of their judgment. You will walk in freedom, in peace, and in power. Archangel Michael stands at your gate, his sword of fire blazing. He is not just defending you, he is clearing the way for your future. The path ahead is bright, because the God who protected Daniel in the lion's den is protecting you in your neighborhood. The same hand that shielded Moses in the wilderness is shielding you now. You are not alone, and you never will be. Your neighbor's envy cannot stop you. Their lies cannot define you. Their jealousy cannot dim your light. You are God's chosen, and His favor surrounds you like a shield. Tonight, as the clock strikes 11:11, rest in the knowledge that heaven is fighting for you. The truth is coming, and it will not only set you free, it will make you unstoppable. Sleep with courage tonight. Rest in power. The heavens are speaking, and their message is clear. You are protected, you are loved, and you are chosen. The spiritual realm is shifting in your favor. The lies are being exposed, the chains are breaking, and the truth is rising. Your neighbor's plans have failed, not because of anything you did, but because of who God is. You don't need to fight this battle. You don't need to confront your neighbor or defend yourself. Heaven is handling it. Archangel Michael is standing guard, and his presence is enough to scatter every enemy. The same God who parted the Red Sea is parting the way for you. The same God who shut the mouths of lions is silencing the lies spoken against you. This is your moment of victory. Not because you won a fight, but because you trusted in God's plan. Your faith has carried you through, and now it is carrying you into a new season. The heaviness you've felt is lifting. The confusion is clearing. The truth is shining, and it will light your path forward. At 11:11 tonight, heaven will make a declaration that cannot be revoked. The veil will lift. The fog will clear. And what was once hidden in the shadows will be dragged into the unrelenting light of truth. Every lie whispered in secret will be heard aloud. Every masked smile will be unveiled. And every envious glance that tried to pierce your peace will be returned to its sender, empty of power. This is not a moment for fear. This is the hour of triumph. You have waited, and heaven has answered. You prayed, and heaven has moved. Now the scales will fall from your eyes, and you will see things for what they really are, not what you hoped, not what you imagined, but what God has always seen behind the scenes. Your neighbor's envy will no longer be concealed by kindness. Their lies will no longer be hidden by hospitality. Their subtle schemes are those polite betrayals and underhanded blessings will all be exposed. But this is not just about revealing their intentions. This is about restoring yours. Because while they were busy trying to dismantle your peace, God was busy rebuilding it. While they labored to dim your joy, heaven was kindling a deeper fire in you, one they cannot touch, one they cannot comprehend. And while they attempted to build walls around your destiny, God carved paths through the impossible. They tried to confuse you, but instead, they confirmed you. You are not crazy. You were never delusional. That heaviness you felt in the air, it wasn't in your mind. It was the atmosphere shifting. That unease in your heart wasn't weakness, it was warning. You sensed what you couldn't prove. You discerned what others denied. And that, beloved, is not madness. That is a gift from heaven. God placed you on their heart, not to be cherished but to be studied. They did not look at you with admiration, but with calculation. They took notes on your habits. They mirrored your speech. They watched your comings and goings, not to celebrate you but to decode you. They searched for flaws. They waited for mistakes. They hungered for signs of failure. But they found none. because what they mistook for fragility was actually faith. What they thought was weakness was divine strength clothed in humility. And what they couldn't understand was this: you were never walking alone. They studied you to strike here, but heaven surrounded you. They observed you to condemn, but angels defended you. Now, the time has come. The wheat and the weeds are growing in the same field no longer. God is doing the separating. The divine hand is reaching into your life to pull away everything that drains you. Everything that fakes friendship. Everything that poisons you with praise while plotting behind your back. And the revelation will be undeniable. Tonight, at 11:11, the heavens will issue a final verdict. Victory. This is the conclusion of their story: those who walked near you, but not with you. Those who called you friend while feeding you thorns. Those who smiled in public and spat curses in private. Their chapter ends now. The plot they wrote for your downfall will be turned into a testimony of your rise. Because God always writes the final word, and that word is always good for His beloved. And this, right here this night, this holy hour, this is the beginning of your story. Not the one they tried to create for you. Not the version they whispered about behind closed doors. But the true story. The divine blueprint. The heaven-authored calling. The radiant path that was always yours but has now been cleared of counterfeit characters. Archangel Michael stands at your gate. He is not pacing. He is not negotiating. He is not seeking permission. He is standing firm, fiery, final. His sword blazes with holy fire, not aimed at people, but at power, so at the spirits of envy, deception, and sabotage that dare to touch what God consecrated. And with one mighty voice, he declares, enough is enough. The watchers have watched long enough. The plotters have plotted far too long. The masks have stayed on for too many seasons. But tonight, yes, tonight the sword of truth cuts through it all. You will no longer be haunted by unanswered questions. You will no longer carry confusion in your heart. The games are over. The spell is broken. The drama ends. The stage clears. And all that remains is the light of God's truth burning brilliantly over your life. Rest tonight, beloved. Not rest out of weariness, but rest in confidence. Rest knowing that you are not alone. You are not vulnerable. You are covered by heaven's authority. You are protected by angels who never sleep, never lie, never compromise. The war in the spirit has been fierce, but tonight it turns in your favor.